I'm Richard Rellis here with columnist Bob Robb in downtown Phoenix outside the Songbird Coffee House and Tea Shop. And you are tackling sort of the box that police get put in. We want low crime, and you talk about from the 70s to now how crime has dropped dramatically, but yet we want to be able to scrutinize how police do their jobs. And police don't react well when they're under that kind of scrutiny, or at least agencies don't act well.
I fear that we've lost sight of what a major accomplishment it was to overcome the high crime rates of the 1970s and 1980s. And proactive policing is thought by many people to have been a central part of that success. There are rogue cops. There are rogue police agencies. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office under Joe Arpaio was a rogue police agency. So there needs to be accountability. But when the police are subject to gratuitous political scrutiny, they tend to retreat. And I think we're seeing a couple examples of that locally.
I guess you point out the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, now that they're under this scrutiny, are making fewer traffic stops, now knowing that they're going to be looked at. But you also bring up Phoenix Police, which, with a spate of officer-involved shootings, the chief, Jerry Williams, commissioned a study. Did you think that was merited?
It may have been politically a wise move, but I think that what is happening is fairly clearly sort of random statistical variations. Everyone's focused on the fact that we went from 17 fatal Phoenix Police Department fatality shootings in a few years ago to over 40 last year. That's a huge increase. But as a percentage of overall arrests, the Phoenix Police Department arrests some 50,000 people over the course of a year. It's a difference of hundreds of a percentage point. And if you go back even further, there was another rise up to over 30. So is it really feasible or likely that the Phoenix Police Department went from being violent to being very nonviolent to being real violent, as opposed to just sort of random statistical variations? And you have the usual cries for there to be a lot of outside scrutiny as a result of this. And while we should take the killing of any human being seriously, and it's right for the Phoenix Police Department to look at ways that it can reduce those incidences, we don't want our police to become reluctant to engage in the kind of proactive policing that contributed to the major improvements in crime rates over the last couple decades.
It seems like it's not the scrutiny you're against, but the fear that the scrutiny will change officers' behavior when they're out on the streets.
And the kind of scrutiny, I mean, these become political hot potatoes, and it can go way too far. If you take the Sheriff's Office, no question that the Sheriff's Office racially profiled and was trying to enforce traffic laws in Latino neighborhoods, searching for illegal immigrants, and that contrary to federal law, contrary to American values. It would have been easy for a judge to say, don't do that, and we're going to put a couple people in your department to make sure that you don't do that. Instead, we have this elaborate regime where it's costing taxpayers millions of dollars, and every traffic stop has to be documented, and people held accountable if they are stopping more of a particular ethnic group than other cops. And as a result, there probably should have been some reduction, but over a 50% reduction, that suggests that because of that kind of scrutiny, not just the accountability that should have been there, that kind of politicized scrutiny, they're cutting back on doing their job.